Hey everybody, thank you so much for listening to this Count Out Network podcast. Before we get to it, I want to talk about our new Patreon that we have started. It is on patreon.com/countoutpod. We're very excited about it and very excited for all the things to you. Now, we're a small network here, and so, we're trying our best to raise our profile and do better things and bring more fun and enjoyment to the wrestling community, wrestling fun. Remember that? So we're doing our best to get there, but we need your help along the way to help bring us up even more. So that's where the Patreon comes in. It's just a little bit of support that you can throw, some money our way to the podcast that we have. Ring Post Radio, Your Dose of Death, How to Talk to Your Friend About Wrestling, Independent Waters, shows of that nature, Okada shorts. That Patreon is something that we will do. And of course, as a thank you for that support from you, that money is going to go to great people, to good causes, to those people that are doing great stuff for our podcast network. But as a thank you, we got great stuff for you. So we got 3 tiers on this Patreon. Again, patreon.com/countoutpod. The first tier is the support tier. It's just $3 a month. That's not bad at all. That's so simple and easy, you won't even see it leave your bank account. And of course, in there, you'll just get a straight up thank you from us, a shout out on all of our podcasts, thanking you for your support. And you'll also be able to join that Content a Month Club. So what that club is every month we will release one piece of audio, one piece of video, whatever it may be, for the support tier, for the $3 tier that is typically behind the $5, maybe even the $10 tier of the Patreon. So you'll be able to get that just for $3. You'll get that content for $3 every single month, and at the end of the month, they'll go back behind the other tiers. But if you want it all the time, you can, of course, get it in the Kayfabe and Shoot tiers. The Kayfabe tier is $5, where you'll get that thank you, and that's where you'll find all of our wrestling-related content, like the new show from Ring Post Radio. Ryan hasn't seen anything, of course, that's me. It's the show where I embarrass myself by admitting to the world matches that I had never seen, and me and Scotty Edwards from Ring Post Radio watch it along with you. Again, that's Ryan hasn't seen anything. And in that tier as well, you get the old content from the old network membership, along with special Discord access as well. So go check out the Kayfabe tier. That's only $5. And in the $10 tier, this is the most expensive tier, the Shoot tier, you get that thank you. You get all that older content. You'll get all those Kayfabe tier goodies of wrestling-related shows. But this is where you also get our non-wrestling-related content. If you really want to hang out with us, this is where it is. And you can do that through our monthly Jackbox Party Pack games with the whole Count Out family. Maybe not the whole Count Out family, whoever's available, I guess. But with the Count Out family, you can join along with us and play along if possible. And of course, you also get our current running show. It's a D&D show, Cantrips and Clotheslines, where you can follow the adventures of Andre, the Pebble, John Meowxley, May Duskmere, and of course, our wonderful DM, Jared Luthi. Some great content, some great shows there, all on our Shoot tier, $10. Again, go to patreon.com/countoutpod and join the Count Out Network Patreon today. Any of the tiers, we'd be very thankful. It's all going to good podcasters, and they would all very much appreciate it as well. So if you can go and donate and go put money into the Patreon, you'll get some great content out of it, I'm sure you. So definitely go check that out. We'd very much appreciate it. Now let's get back to the show. You're listening to a Count Out podcast.
Konnichiwa, what is up the internet? This is your good friend Curtis Spears, back with you today for another Okada Shorts short. G-Wondering for G1 32, Night 16 from Machida Gymnasium. Machida? Not sure. In Tokyo. And it was a great night of action. Let's go ahead and get started breaking it down for you. So the first match was Kenta beating Aaron Henare in 12 minutes and 35 seconds with the game over. The strikes were starting pretty early in this match. This was exactly what I wanted. You've got Henare is one of the better strikers in the game right now. Kenta is one of the best strikers in professional wrestling history. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to see those powerful kicks and punches from Kenta, those powerful body blows from Henare, and we got a lot of that. Henare early in the match gets a little overzealous and kicks the post where Kenta is hiding, and then Kenta has a target. So Henare keeps using his power to try and beat Kenta down, but he's trying to base off of the leg that Kenta's been working for a few minutes, and it just was too much to overcome. Eventually, Kenta's then able to start working the arm to continue breaking down Henare's power base and take away his striking, and that gets Kenta into the game over position for 2 points. So another good match for Henare. Henare was only 1-5 in this entire tournament, which is a disappointing record, but he didn't have a bad match. He went 6 for 6 with good matches, and I think he did his job. He proved that he deserves to be in the G1. Last time I did one of these, I was kind of poo-pooing Yujiro Takahashi, saying that he's a good loss post for the tournament. I understand why he's there, but he can't really keep up with the conditioning or with the action of what a G1 participant needs to keep up with. And that's exactly what Henare was doing. Henare was keeping up with the action. Henare was having great matches, even if he did lose. So there we have it. Henare's first G1 is over. It's a little disappointing, but he had great matches. So next up was Jeff Cobb beating Toru Yano with the Tour of the Islands in 4 minutes and 28 seconds. This one was perfect for me. I always say that the best Toru Yano match is under 5 minutes, and this one started out fun. Cobb came out doing an impression of Yano, which was pure hilarity. He had a chair, he had a DVD, all the disinfectant spray and stuff like that. Really good, really funny stuff. Yano missing, did not want to come out whatsoever. His entire theme song played and stopped. The referee started counting. He got to about 12 before Yano attacked from behind and tried to roll up Cobb. When Cobb kicked out of that one, he got sprayed with disinfectant in the eyes and tried to roll him up again. He tied Cobb's arms inside of his own singlet and then tied him up in the ring apron like a big old burrito. Hilarious stuff. Eventually, Jeff Cobb gets back in the ring, still with his hands tied in his singlet, lands a big drop kick, looks like a dolphin. Chris Charlton makes an Orange Cassidy reference. I was cracking up. Then it was Tour of the Islands time, and that was all she wrote. Cobb is still alive in the A block as of right now. The next match, Shingo Takagi versus Yujiro Takahashi. So this D block, of course, is fucking insanity. There's absolute chaos going right now. If things work out the right way, they're going to have a 7-way tie for the D block. Shingo needed to beat Yujiro, and if there was any justice in the world, Shingo would have ended Yujiro's tournament in less than 2 minutes, but we had to endure quite a bit of time before Shingo beat Yujiro in 15 minutes and 24 seconds with the Last of the Dragon. Yujiro was using the outside a lot to his advantage. A chair, the guardrails, reverse DDT on the outside. It's the only way that he can compete in a match against a former world heavyweight champion. Shingo remembers then that he's Shingo and begins dominating, and just as that happens, here comes Sho. Sho catches Shingo with a chair shot and then a pimp juice DDT from Yujiro, but Shingo kicks out of that one. Yuj kicks out of the Made in Japan, so good for him. Yuj then hits Shingo with a pimp juice DDT on the outside, and Shingo hits a Death Valley driver on the outside, and they tease last year's double countout again. That's how Shingo's tournament ended upsettingly last year, with a double countout against Yujiro. The crowd is annoyed once the ref bumps start. Shingo turns the tables on the House of Torture Boys, the Hot Boys, by using the chair against Yujiro, and then uses the chair against Sho, and then hits a Last of the Dragon on the Tokyo Pimp for 2 points. Yujiro ends 3-3, and the 7-way dream is still alive. Looking at the 7-way split, Chaos Project here, Yoshihashi and Will Osprey. For this one to work, for the 7-way dream to still be alive, Will Osprey needs to beat Yoshihashi, and he does in 18 minutes and 46 seconds with the hidden blade. Yoshi's shoulder is heavily taped. These two are going to chop the shit out of each other the entire match. It was fantastic. Yoshihashi has an early advantage with the heavy hands, but Osprey is so fast he can just hit you from anywhere. Osprey begins working the injured shoulder, but he's getting desperate and mean. At this point in the tournament, Will's going to do anything he can for 2 points. He's already lost, I believe, twice. He's lost to Shingo and he's lost to David Finley. He's down to his last 2 wins. He's trying to make it so that he can just flat out win the D block without having to do the 7-way tie. So he just starts torturing poor Yoshihashi by working his shoulder and things like that. And this new evil Will that we've had for the last 2 years has been really great at that. When Yoshihashi fights back, Will's able to use his speed and regain the advantage easily. Yoshi blocks an Oz Cutter to regain control. He hits Karma, but he can't move fast enough to cover him. Will flips out of a second Karma attempt and hits a stunner and nails the Oz Cutter, but Yoshihashi kicks out. Will misses the hidden blade, catches a super kick as he attempts another Oz Cutter, eats a destroyer. They're trading blows. They're nailing each other with finishing moves like the Kamagoroshi from Yoshihashi. The end is coming soon. The crowd's feeling it. Everyone's just really amped for Yoshihashi to take this one. But the Chelsea Grin and the Hidden Blade finally put Yoshihashi down. Great match. Tons of fighting spirit made Yoshihashi look like an absolute killer. And Operation 7-Way Chaos is still alive. Finally, we came to our main event of the evening, Taichi versus Jay White. 23 minutes and 20 seconds. Jay White wins with the Blade Runner. Taichi and Jay, they have a sumo face-off at the beginning of the match, but Jay just kind of rakes Taichi's eyes. It's hilarious. What a shitbag. Jay's so much smarter than everyone else, and he's got a plan. His plan is to work on Taichi's breathing, his conditioning. He's choking him with anything and everything he can, the ring apron, the guardrail, the camera cable. Jay's got a game plan he's executing to perfection. Taichi's able to turn the tide and begin using powerful kicks to punish Jay. And that's when Geto gets involved and begins menacing Miho Abe to distract Taichi. But then Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Uncle Nobu, gets up off the commentary table and gets after Geto. Taichi hits Jay with the last ride, but can't put him away. The crowd was really feeling it. They trade suplexes with Taichi, seemingly getting the better of the exchange. The finisher dance is fantastic. Jay's fighting as hard as he can to counter move after move as Taichi is fired up. The Hakuho elbow gets 2. Jay hits the Blade Runner but can't cover. Jay goes for another one, and that's all she wrote. Took 2 Blade Runners to put down your boy Taichi. Jay's still undefeated in the block 5-0 and waiting on Tama Tonga on the final night. So we're going to be looking at Sunday's coverage from your bad friend Rafe Houston. The matches for that one are Yoshihashi versus David Finley to see if Operation D-Block Chaos continues. Taichi versus Great Okan, that one's going to be fantastic. Tom Lawler versus Jeff Cobb, I expect a lot of fun out of that one. And Kenta versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. We'll see if Hiroshi Tanahashi can stay up in that C block and take it all the way to Wrestle Kingdom like Rafe predicted. Alright, if you'd like to get a hold of us on social media, you can find me at eldestructo83 on Instagram and Twitter. I'll probably be complaining about living in southeast London during what might be the sweatiest time of the year. It's pretty fucking horrible, but I'm here brought to you by the power of iced tea and the love of a pug. So there's that. If you'd like to follow my bad friend Rafe Houston, you can find him on all the social medias at Faces Feels Cast. If you'd like to, you can follow our lovely benefactors, the Count Out Podcasting Network at Count Out Pod on Instagram and Twitter. You can join the Count Out Podcast Patreon for $3, $5, or $10 a month. That's right, tons of extra stuff for just a little bit of cash. And if you are a podcaster yourself, if you have a YouTube channel, if you have a Twitch streaming platform, if you are a wrestler who wants to walk down that aisle to a super badass wrestling theme song, get a hold of our boy Owen, who is on Instagram and Bandcamp under Riff Your Pod, and he will make for you a ripping theme song like he did for us here at the Okada Shorts podcast. And we're going to hear from Owen right now. So rate and subscribe, listen or die. Keep it right, keep it tight, keep it short.
Treasure here, how did you know?
There always be treasure in the independent waters, matey.
Why don't more people come here for their hunt for treasure, Captain?
It'd be a hard one to find, but if you want to make it easier to find, tune into Independent Waters on the Count Out Network.
Every Wednesday with your hosts, me, Zach Batista.
And me, Mikey Manfredi.
As we take you through the independent wrestling scene and find the treasure buried beneath the surface.
Whether you're new to indie wrestling or have been watching for years, this show is for you.
That's Independent Waters, every Wednesday on the Count Out Network.
See you there, landlubbers.
This has been a Count Out Podcast.